Hey guys, Mike Martin here, Lead Simplify. Right, today I'm going to show you something that blew my mind and opened up the uses for Lead Simplify to me even more, okay? So, this time last year, I was in my office and I was waiting on a customer service call scheduled with a client on Skype. He had purchased Lead Simplify probably right back when we very first launched, okay? And he wanted to use it with his taxi company, all right? So I thought, this guy's nuts, okay? Uber, they've destroyed the so-called taxi industry, and I expected that he was going to want me to have a look at his business model and maybe help him out and say, look, have you got any ideas? How would you use it? Blah, blah, blah. He wasn't. He actually wanted to help. He actually wanted to show off. I hope he's not watching. No, he didn't. He wanted to help, but also show off because he was proud of what he did, and so he should have been. Okay, so basically, what I wanted to show me that he'd got rid of his taxi rank in Manchester completely. Okay, he also wanted to show me how all of his staff now work from home, and how he was saving an absolute fortune because of that. Okay, no rank, no bills, no month, no electric, no systems, no none of it. Okay, and how he could now easily target new areas with his business, all because of Lead Simplify. Now I'm going to jump on and do a screen share shortly and show you how he sets his business up. Okay, but just to reiterate how it all works first of all, right? So first thing he does. And I'm going to explain this, and then as you see how it's set up, you'll understand it a little bit better. So he sets up each driver from their home, wherever they live, okay, and then he sets their working radius, so whatever their working radius. He then gives each driver, say, 10,000 credits, and he makes the cost of a job a single credit, okay? Right, then he tells all of his drivers, you work whenever you want, basically. Whenever you want to work, as long as he always has cover. He always has cover, not always. Okay, so I had a few questions for him. What happens if you have no drivers working? And he just says, I advertise for new drivers. So then I said, well, what about all the missed custom? He said, there is no missed custom because the drivers pay a set weekly fee. Every single driver pays him a set weekly fee. So I asked him, if the drivers let you down, will getting more drivers increase your income? And he said, yes, it does. So basically, whenever a driver lets him down, it doesn't piss him off. It cheers him up a little bit because he knows he's going to advertise for another driver, okay, and he's going to make more money. But he will not do it unless the existing drivers let him down first, okay? So basically, let me explain this. So the second he is left without cover, he advertises for a new driver and they pay him a set weekly fee, which increases his income by about 100 quid a week. Let's say 100 quid a week, which is a win-win situation. Basically, he gets more drivers, more money. His drivers get a kick up the backside, obviously, because they are now paying the same money but for less work. They're not going to walk out and leave because they can't afford to. And it's their own fault because they let him down. So he lets them sort their own working hours out between themselves, but he says, make sure we've always got cover. Then I asked him, okay, so you're telling me that your drivers can make a fortune, but they have to work hard, which is basically how it all works. And he says, yes. If they don't, they end up sharing their work, and that's it. Basically, they end up sharing the work with an additional person. If he's got 10 guys on, he's gonna and they let him down, and they can't cover a couple of jobs. They've got a night where they've got no drivers. He'll then bring in another driver and say, look, I'm looking for drivers who's willing to work nights, blah, 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 100 quid a week, and you get as much work as we can give you and work all the hours you want. So, okay, it sounds perfect. Then I asked him, how do you market your business? Now, this was obviously a very, very important bit, is how do you market your business? And I expected he was going to say PPC, Facebook, blah, 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 like we're all doing the same things. He said flyers, actual posting flyers through people's doors. And I was like, so they still work. And he basically explained to me that they actually work better than ever. And he went on to explain that 10 years ago, you got hundreds of flyers every day coming through your front door. He says, now you get pizza menus and people have actually started reading the flyers again. And then I asked him, what's it next? Then I went on and asked him, how do you decide where to post the flyers? Because I was thinking, well, a place like Royton, where I used to live in Oldham in Manchester, has got 25,000 people. If you advertise 25,000 people, that's going to cost an absolute fortune. His brief, dead quick, simple answer was, where old people live. And I thought, you can't say that. And he said, true. He says, I advertise on the on there. It says they don't use the internet and they read what comes through the door because they have more time. So then I asked him, okay, so how do you move into new areas? Now this was the interesting bit with me, is because obviously you get a small taxi rank in a tiny little area in Manchester, Liverpool, Leeds, wherever you are. It's very difficult to grow anywhere else because your rank is in, say, Middleton or Oldham or Rochdale, and it's very difficult to move on from there. He basically said that what he does is he first of all advertises for the drivers. So he'll find a specific area and he'll say, right, we're going to launch a rank in Rochdale on the 1st of June and we need 4 new drivers. These drivers come on board, you pay £100 a week each dues, straight into the thing. You can work as many hours you want, take as many jobs as you want, make as much money as you want, you don't pay us a penny. Okay? He then adds all the drivers to their Lead Simplify system, obviously, with their working radius set. And then he does a huge flyer drop. So he just literally gets 10,000, 20,000 flyers or whatever it is, with the grand opening date saying new taxi rank coming, best rates in town, blah, 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 blah. Grand opening, and everything kicks off from there. So it basically works like that. What did I ask him then? I went on to ask him about, oh yeah, new staff to answer the telephones. I said, so what do you do about the new staff in the areas for answering the telephones? And he started laughing at me. He said, you should know this better than anybody. He says, the same people can answer the phone because Lead Simplify, as I do know, because I do it with my locksmithing in the UK, automatically does the job distribution, so that basically they just answer the phones, fill in the form that's on the screen in front of them or on their mobile phone. You can fill it in on your mobile phone. So you answer the phone, say, okay, what's your address, what's your thing? Right, I'll come there in about 15 minutes or whatever it is, unless it's a booking in job, which is a different form. And that's about it. And then after thinking about it at a bit of length, I was looking at it and I was thinking to myself, this will work for anything. Okay, so now picture this. Imagine you've got 10 emergency plumbers working for you on your books. And you set this up, so you go into an area and you want to start taking on emergency plumbers. Again, same situation. We're all trying to hit the internet. We're all trying to hit PPC. We're all trying to do all these other crazy, mad, different setups. But we've all seemed to have forgot about flyers and stuff like that. So imagine you got 10, or imagine you go to an area and you say, right, I'm going to get 4 plumbers in the Manchester area, for example, or Oldham area, or wherever it is that you want to go. Most plumbers will travel within about a 20-mile radius, so you've got quite a lot of areas to choose from and a lot of places to pick up new customers. So you've got 10 emergency plumbers, you do a big massive flyer drop, you say, right, new plumbers opening in such and such an area, such and such a date, blah, 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 you'll be on the books from this date, you do a huge flyer drop with your opening date, you get 4 plumbers that are willing to pay £100 a week to get a load of work. They need 1 job a week to cover their costs. If they get 3 or 4 or 5 jobs a week, they're already in credit with you. It's probably going to cost you the initial week's money to do the flyer drops, and from that point on you start getting work. If you do a flyer drop every single month, it's costing you 1 week's money every single month. That's just with 4 people. If you get 10 people, 20 people, 30 people on, and you start spreading on a bigger, and not just plumbers, this works with electricians, locksmiths, pest control, any form of mobile staff. If there's a mobile, if they go to anybody who visits a customer's premises, you can use this business model for to set up a brand new business in the area using Lead Simplify to automate the distribution. You can grow it over a period of time, but not only that, you can then, if anybody lets you down, you advertise for another person to be added. So you say, look, we've got 4 guys in the area. The second you start missing jobs, I'm going to get a 5th person in the area. They're going to pay me an additional £100 a week. And then a 6th person, 7th person, 8th person, and it just moves on down the line to the point where you've got 20 guys covering an area for you. You're doing shed loads of flyer drops on whatever other type of advertising you want to do. Awesome, eh? I just started thinking, I'm going to share my screen now and show you exactly how to set this up on Lead Simplify, how he set it up. It's dead simple, but I thought I'd explain it. And whilst you're watching the video on how it's set up, I know it's turned into a bit of a long video, you know what I'm like for rambling. But just remember, you can use this in all different types of businesses. You can set this up with plumbers, you can set this up with roofers, you can set this up with electricians, you can set this up with pest control guys, you can set this up with locksmiths, auto electricians, mobile mechanics, anybody in an area, absolutely anybody in an area. And there's different forms of advertising, different ways to advertise each business. But if you've got the advertising right, which most on my group are advertising professionals, Lead Simplify runs your business for you. You don't even need to pick up the phone. And if you do pick up the phone, you're asking the same questions because you're just filling in a form and the job gets submitted and the contractors deal with it. Okay, guys, I'll put you on my screen share. Sorry for rambling so much. Speak to you shortly. Cheers. Bye. Okay guys, I'm now sharing my screen. As you can see, we're inside of Lead Simplify. So first thing we're going to do, if we were setting up this taxi rank business, but like I said at the end of the last video, you can use this in pretty much any business model where people visit customers' premises. So industries and niches. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go in here and we're going to click on Add New. So you're going to go Preferences, Industries, Niches, Add New. And press Add New again because it's not letting me in. There we go. So right, for example, let's say we want taxi, description is taxi, we want to charge 1 credit, we want to charge, only select once, yeah? Because these drivers, like I said earlier, you can give them 10,000 thingies and they're just going to take as many jobs as they want. And you'll be able to see who your best driver is who takes the most jobs, because you'll be able to see his credits going down faster than everybody else's. You can track it, you can see exactly what jobs they've done. Right, step number 2, so that's set that up. Step number 2, you're going to click on leads and you're going to go to your form builder. Okay, so this is really how quick and easy it is to set this business model up. Right, so we're going to call it taxi. We're going to select taxi. We're going to put unknown because it's just coming from web address. Let's make the background of the form clear, not that it matters. Right in that color. Back button, next button, submit button for the form. Submit. Taxi is on its way. Right. Let's add a recapture in case anyone finds your form. Okay, then we're going to click that button to add the header and we're going to put book a taxi. Okay, stick that up there. Then we're going to grab this one, click that, and that's going to bring your name, address. So you click that user details and that brings in all this information on one go for you. Oop, don't know what all that is. Delete that. So we've got zip, right? So let's say we're doing it in the UK. England, Manchester, where right, so you got postcode, you got address line 1, postcode, phone number. You're going to want the customer's phone number to contact them, so you've got to keep the phone number. You don't need their email address, you can delete that bit. What else we're going to have to ask? Text area. Let's click text area and let's address going to. Now you don't need to put in loads of different ones for this. It needs to be required because you need to know whether going Manchester Airport or where, but this is not crazy necessary, as is these ones up here. Name, address, postcode. That's where they're being collected from. This is how the driver's going to get hold of them. This, address going to, and you could probably have a time one in there as well if you wanted, and stick a submit button down the bottom. Okay, so we can save and preview the form. Okay, so the form is ready, and I've shown in many videos how you add that to a website. So you just click on it and you just grab that there, copy that, paste that into any website in the world, and it shows up just like this, so you can book a taxi direct. Next step is to get your drivers. So we've done an advertisement in the local area, as I explained on the previous video. We've done an advertisement, and the advertisement is for 4 new taxi drivers for a rank starting on, say, the 1st of July or 1st of June or whatever in the local area. You're going to prepare your flyer drop and all the rest of it, but you're going to want 4 new drivers. So what you do is you start advertising, and when you get inquiries, you send this little link out here to the drivers. Say, no problem, sign yourself up. Okay? So they click that link inside their email, it takes them over here. So let's say company name is Taxi, first name is Taxi, and second name can be guy number 1. I'm not going to set up all 4 taxi guys because it's the same process. Let's say he's got a phone number of loads of 7s, and the taxi driver's email is taxiguy at taxishop.com or something. I know it's not going to be that. He's got to agree to the terms and conditions. He's got to click this to thingy. So you're telling him to sign up, and the second he signs up to your system, he becomes a taxi driver in your area, and he clicks here to log in, goes to his email, logs in, he can play around. But the first thing you want to do is you want to ring this guy up and say, okay, lead buyers, I should have taxi guy popping up on my, there you go. See the top one, taxi guy at taxi shop. He's logged in now. So I want to click edit on him. And as we look, he's got all his information here. What we're interested in is this information here. So we want to click in here. We want to say taxi, right? And we're going to add the location. So let's say you'll do within a 5-mile radius of, because he's not going to want to do much further because you've got like a 2 quid call out and stuff like that, of say, let's say I used to live in Middleton, Manchester. Oh, that's not going to show up because it's not real. Middleton, Manchester, UK. Okay, I don't know how that's worked. Look at the state of that. So Middleton, Manchester, UK, he wants to do within a 5 mile radius. We don't want automatically receive leads. So we want to click save. Yep. So it's that simple. He is now set up to receive lead notifications in those areas. It's that quick and that easy. If you want him to receive text messages, obviously you set your Twilio number up, you put his mobile number in here, and you click SMS alerts. So it's up to you if you're giving him SMS alerts or emails. I would recommend that gets put in there, that gets sent across there, and you set your Twilio account up because they're going to receive the jobs a lot quicker. I mean, it saves them looking at emails all day if they're in a bad single area or whatever. So you've got this guy set up, everything's done. He's now got no credit. So I was going to say step number 3, but I don't know what step we're on at the minute. Right, so let's just click on transactions. We come over to here and we click add new. And then we're going to look for subscriber. Click down there, taxi guy number 1. Boom. So what we're going to do, cash paid, 0, description, taxi. Give him 10,000 credits. Yeah, the guy is now set up inside your system to receive taxi jobs, the next 10,000 taxi jobs. Okay, and then automatically, as soon as that form gets filled in his area, so let's go back over to the form builder and let's view the form, and he'll get a text and an email notification. So let's say Mike, Conway Close, M24 1 Foxtrot November, blah 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 blah, is the phone number, address going to Manchester Airport, and you could have put a date and time that it was needed and that in there as well. But the second this gets submitted now inside the system, if we go back over to leads, I don't play around in this system very often. As you can see, we've got one that's come into the system there. And when we look inside the system, he will be down there as one of the guys that can buy it. Now, if we put in a taxi lead outside of his 5 mile radius area, so what will happen is him and your other 4 taxi drivers will all get a text and an email. And it's fastest finger first. First guy to click the button and submit it. Then they get a message with the phone number and the full address of the person that they're going to pick up. Okay, so they can't steal the jobs. Why would they steal them anyway? Basically, what they're going to do is they're going to pay you a set rate of 100 quid a week and cover as many jobs as possible. Okay, if a guy's got a car and his mate's got a car, they're probably going to split the jobs. I probably would. If I was paying someone £100 a week for taxi jobs, I'd make sure my car was on the road 24 hours a day. Whether it's me driving, whether it's my son driving, whether it's my wife driving, I don't really care. I don't know about licenses and stuff, but I'd be out on the road or somebody would all the time. So this business model works, but you can do the same business model, as I said earlier, with plumbers, with roofers, with electricians, with anybody that visits a third-party premises. You sign up 5 guys at 500 quid a week, £100 a week each. You've got £500 a week or £2,000 a month coming in. You spend £1,000 a month on advertising, and you keep them 5 guys in work. It is that simple. It's super, super easy. The second they start letting you down, you get better at advertising, and they start letting you down, then you just jump straight in and add another guy. That's another £100 a week. Okay, so that puts you on 2,400 a month, and you get 10 guys in, you got £4,000 a month, you get 20 guys in, you get £8,000 a month. If you're spending £4,000 a month on advertising, you're spending enough money then to advertise on a very, very, very big scale. People don't have £4,000 a month. Not only that, but you're also making an additional £4,000 a month for your back pocket. You start getting 100 guys on this end, you're retiring very, very young, if you're already young. Anyway, guys, I hope you liked that video. I hope that was helpful. That taxi rank method is brilliant. I've been thinking about it for ages. I've wanted to do the video for a while. It's very easy. You set up the 5 guys, you give them all 10,000 credits, you then charge them 100 quid a week to be part of your system, and they just receive the jobs, and they have to click into the job to buy the job to get the thingy, but they're not actually paying any cash for it. They get free credits, and then every time you go in and look at your taxi drivers, you can see, okay, well, this guy's got 9,950 credits, whereas this other guy's got 8,000 credits. You know, he's been taking loads more work. You can see who your best drivers are, who covers the most jobs, who works the hardest for the amount of money they receive. The second somebody lets you down, the second they say, or the second you try and send out a job and there's nobody to cover it, you phone the customer and say, really sorry, he's had a flat tire, we can't come out, or really sorry, the plumber's van's broke down, or the locksmith's had a crash, or whatever it is. you tell the customer there's a problem, and then you stick an advertisement in the paper the next day. Taxi driver wanted, £100 a week fees. Plumber wanted, £100 a week fees, unlimited work. Boom, 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 it just keeps growing. Okay, guys, any questions? I think I said this in the last video. I'm always on the group. Might have, might not have. Get over there and chat to me. Thank you very much. Cheers. Bye-bye.